Would you rather have a nice fancy car for 1 week, but you'd be punished for having that car? Or would you rather never have the car in the first place? Let's look into this topic of nothing versus everything. Which one would you rather choose? What I'm going to be looking into in this video is whether it's better to have nothing in the first place or have, I'm changing this to something, because this something in perspective is going to be an item that you desire. Obviously, it's not going to be everything. So the something in the analogy that I used in the title was a car. It's something that you want, obviously, but if you know that this comes with a punishment, would you still take that car? I'll give you a different example. Or not even a different example. I think you guys can understand that fairly easy just from that. So I want to look into some pros and cons of having nothing in the first place. You have no worries and no regrets of having this thing. Once you have something, it's inevitable that you're going to build some type of emotional attachment. If you really did want this thing, let's use our car analogy. We have a car, nice Lamborghini Urus right here. You get yourself some windows. Let's give it a door too, because where am I gonna put the door right here. A handle, get your lights. That is horrible, but it's okay because it's a new model of cars. $500,000 car right here, but in 1 week, this car gone, taken away. And what do you have to do? Let's give you punishment. Let's say you can't eat for 3 days, but you have to experience having this car for a whole week. You got to go, drive it around, show it off to your friends, do whatever you want with the car. I mean, it's a Lamborghini. You wanted it for so long, you finally got to have it, but at what cost? Would it be better to have nothing at all? You have your trash, Chevy, I don't know what cars you guys got. It might look like that. Sure, this is your car today. I'm putting this as nothing because the nothing I'm going to be talking about in this video is what you already have right now. It's the constants in your life that aren't going to change spontaneously, right? Like a relationship would be something, because it's something that can it can be broken in a matter of seconds, right? But something like your taxes or your car payment, that's not going away. You got that until you have that. So would you rather take this car, live your normal life, knowing that you wouldn't have to be punished for having some lavish item? I don't know, that's a question for you. But maybe there's a correlation you can use to decide where something would be better than nothing. In most situations, you're gonna want the something because there's not many places in which the something is so great that it poses a risk to losing as well. The only reason why this car is making you sad upon losing is because you built an emotional attachment to it because of the long desire you had for it, and eventually when you did get it, then you were so happy, and that happiness was taken away from you along with the car. So if I can graph this out for you guys, you'd be experiencing a crazy high, maybe a little bit of a steady level off once you get used to this lifestyle and this car, and then bam, crash right back down. Now you're at zero instead of being at your initial. This is your graph for if you're happy, I don't know what's happy. If you have what you have right now and you're accepting of that, straight line. That's kind of hard to see, but you get the point. Straight line. There's none of this highs, there's none of this lows, but there's a guaranteed constant that you will feel the same if you hold on to what you have now. But there's also the idea that you might want something of this sort. You might want to experience these highs, these high highs, maybe these mid highs, I guess we can call them. Because once you get used to something, you start to realize how much you didn't want that thing. Like, let's say some new video game, for example, right? You wanted this nice Xbox. We're getting you the Xbox Series X. I'm drawing it 3D enough. And you just got this for Christmas, because that just came around. $500 on this Xbox. You wanted it so badly. All your friends have it, and you finally got it. And guess what? It's the same as your old Xbox. It's not that much of an upgrade. So, what? As soon as you got your thing, this is your graph, you're super happy about it, and then back to how you were before, back to how you were with the old Xbox. And depending on the type of person you are, if you're someone who is overly reactive, or even reactive in general to emotional stimuli based off materialistic or any items, not even just materialistic, then you are probably gonna crash a little bit. But probably not a lot unless you're like really emotional, I guess. But you'll probably be around here, right? This is about where you started, but this is not a high risk thing. Like, there is a constant of guarantee knowing that you still have this Xbox, but it doesn't meet, this is your desire, this is what you actually get. And your mentality reflects off of that. If you have the idea that you're gonna get this nice tool, this nice item, you're gonna have so much fun with it, and you don't, well, you're not gonna be happy about that. I want to look into it about a relationship too, because I know that's going to be really applicable to your lives, whether you realize it or not, whether you want to talk about it or not. If you have a relationship with somebody, you're taking a risk. When you talk to someone for the first time, not that you shouldn't do it, you are taking a risk in building a relationship with that person. So, when you make friends with a person, you're putting a level of trust into them that you just kind of gotta hope that they won't break. I mean, people are unpredictable. You'll come to know that if you come to know that. If you don't, then great. Don't learn if you don't need to. I should probably explain that. That means if you are someone who's experienced people breaking your trust that you put into them, then I mean, who am I to tell you not to go about your life living that way? Because it's justified. I mean, you adapted to your surroundings. But if you are someone who has been able to put trust in every person, then you're likely a social person. That's good. Stay that way. Like, you're living out your life. You can make friends easily. I respect that. But I'm guessing if you're watching this video, that is not you. And that's okay. We can accept that. I don't want to say fix, because it's not broken. I mean, being this second person where you don't know if you can fully put your trust in someone makes the highs even higher. So if you actually do find a trustworthy person, then that's amazing. That's ideal. That's more ideal than it would be to be this person who already has an established like social group and feels like they can trust everybody. They're gonna be sticking down here. They're not gonna be happy with that, because you're never happy with what you can have, with what you have, because you know it's not what you can have. And that's just a rule of life. I mean, you kind of have to accept that, whether you want to or not. It's Mr. Beast said this, actually. I'm gonna quote him. It's stupid to chase your life living to find a bigger and bigger box to live in. I don't know if that's exactly what he said, but that's the idea. And he's right about that. I mean, there's not really a way you can deny that. if you chase your life just trying to be rich, I mean, you're just gonna want to be richer. That's just how the human mind works. So that's probably why people cheat also. If you have this relationship, you want to know what it's like to have more. And that's why there's always a risk in entering a relationship. But I want to say like 7 times, 7.5 times out of 10, that risk is justified. There is other factors that affects this, unfortunately. Number one, it's the people you're around. That's very important, more than you'd think. If you're around people who are social, who are talkative, who people like in general, then you're not going to be like a hated person. But if you're around people who are just annoying in general, people are going to think that about you, and there's not much you can do to change that, even by talking to them. Number two, I want to say your demeanor. This is more or less the physical appearance that you have that causes a mental image in a person. Through this mental image, they're going to give you characteristics of, for example, if you saw somebody on the street, they have some super nice outfit on, they're some tall, handsome person, you're going to think, oh yeah, it's a respectful guy right there. Like if he's in a suit, he's in a tie, that's probably a businessman or something. You're going to respect him subconsciously. And that is very important. You can utilize that to your whatever you want to be seen as, I guess. So you can dress up if you want to be seen as more formal, put on a suit and tie. Not too formal, actually. Don't do that. But if you want to seem more laid back, neutral, or I don't want to say basic is probably the right word for it. And just wear whatever everyone else is wearing. If you want to stick out a little bit, get into fashion. But overall, demeanor is very important to how you are gonna build relationships and how they're gonna be affected. It's not a truth you want to hear, but it's a truth regardless. These two things, there's definitely some more. This is pretty much saying physical attributes. This is the first impression that people are going to get out of you. It's not the words that you say realistically, unless the words you say are some really eye-catching words. I'm not saying, I said eye-catching because they have to be more identifiable than whatever you look like. Because most of the time you don't remember somebody. Like if I say a name, if I say John, that's probably someone you guys all know, John or something, like a James or something. You all know someone with that name, and an image comes in your head, right, of what that person looks like, not what that person says. So it's just the truth that your appearance is the first thing someone sees about you, and that is what they remember. First impressions matter, and first impressions don't start with words. It doesn't start with a handshake, doesn't start with a glance. It starts with how you look. So if that's good, you're gonna be reducing your risk of having a bad relationship. Maybe not bad, but fruitless relationship, because it could be a fun relationship and you get what you want out of it, but you're not gonna keep getting what you want out of it, because what you want is gonna be higher and what they want is irrelevant. Or what they want is gonna be higher and what you want is irrelevant. But it's all a risk. I mean, I'm assuming you guys are still young if you're watching this video. If you're not, then maybe you can give me some advice. But if you're still young, I mean, you have plenty of people ahead of you, in that there's plenty of people you're gonna meet, not literally ahead of you. So if you keep taking this risk from a less emotional standpoint, then you're gonna find it's just a higher percentage. Like if you shoot your shot at 100 people versus at 100 baskets versus 50, it's a higher chance of making it on 100. It's just you're gonna make more shots than 100, and that's just like, I don't want to say a fact because some of you might be really bad at basketball and make 0 shots, but it's realistically what's gonna happen. So if you take a less emotional and attached stance on a relationship, like if you're first getting to know somebody, you are less attached and you get to know what they like, then you can deem this person trustworthy of your time. Obviously don't diminish your own time. That's more important than like anything else, especially when you have when you want a lot of friends. Your time is very important to see who deserves it and who doesn't. Most people don't. That's just how it is, no matter how much you want them to. You can make them deserving of your time if you introduce them to something that you like. For example, trading, like stocks and stuff. If you introduce someone to stocks and they like it, they are on board with it, then that's somebody that you can get along with. It's someone who can be worth your time. But unless you figure that out, I would don't drop off. Dropping off people, like fully cutting ties with them, is something that probably shouldn't be done as often as it is. If someone's talking bad about you, it's most likely out of their own spite, and that's just not something I can hate someone for. I don't know. It's like, if you're talking bad about me, like, I know it's cliche to say, but there's probably some other reason. It's 9 times out of 10, it's not because you're hated. That 1 time out of 10, I don't know, man, you gotta lock in, you gotta fix that. But 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna be because you're hated, it's because of some ulterior motive. So at least I wanna find out what that motive is that caused you to talk bad about me or start rumors, whatever people do. You know how that is. And hopefully stop it and see what I can do about that. But I'm getting off topic here, man. I'm getting off topic. Overall, what I'm saying, nothing comes in all different forms, something comes in all different forms. The form nothing I'm using is a constant, and something is a desire. 2 very, very different things. Ironically, desire isn't the definition I want to use, because you can either have one or the other. It depends on you to determine which one you want more. So I encourage you all to look at things in a more analytical standpoint in order to see which one is going to be worth your time, money, and effort, or not money. It depends on money. Actually, I was thinking materialistic things. I see all these card drawings and stuff, like time, money, effort, all that. So I hope I helped you if you need help, and if you didn't, I hope I entertained you if you need entertainment. Thank you for watching, and yeah.